India's economic growth nosedives after virus lockdown. India's economy nosedives. Unable to get infections under control, the prospects of India's economic recovery look weak. India emerged as a global hotspot for the coronavirus pandemic with more than 5 million infections. The Asian Development Bank cut India's growth projections from already historic lows as the virus continues to spread. Goldman Sachs Group now estimates a 14.8% contraction in gross domestic product for the year through March 2021, while the ADB is forecasting minus 9%. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development sees the economy shrinking by 10.2%. Sunil Kumar Sinha, principal economist at India Ratings and Research Limited, sees the Indian's economy contracting 11.8% in the fiscal year, far worse than his earlier projection of minus 5.8%. 6.6 million white-collar professional jobs lost during May to August, says Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. An estimated 66 lakh white-collar professional jobs were lost between May and August due to the pandemic-induced lockdown in India, according to the data by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. The massive job loss has resulted in the lowest employment of these professionals since 2016 and wiped away all the gains made in their employment over the past 4 years. Toyota Motor halts expansion plans in India. In a major blow to the already aligning Indian economy, senior officials of Toyota Motor Corporation said they do not intend to expand in India, citing country's high tax regime as the reason. The government keep taxes on cars and motorbikes so high that companies find it hard to build scale, said Shankar Vishwanathan, vice chairman of Toyota local unit Toyota Kirloskar Motor. The high levies also put owning a car out of reach of many consumers, meaning factories are idled and jobs aren't created, he said. The message we are getting after we have come here and invested money is that we do not want you, Vishwanath said in an interview. In the absence of any reforms, we won't exit India, but we won't scale up. But when reports last came in, Toyota announced Rs 2,000 crores investment. Railway privatization. India must hasten slowly. In a bid to hasten the privatization of Indian Railway, the government announced that it would allow private railways to set their own fates. The decision to partly open up the railway sector comes in the wake of the sliding economy and limited fiscal room. Sources say that train service in India would soon go to the airlines' way of flexible pricing depending on demand on specific routes. The government has called for private players and looks to leverage one of the largest and oldest rail networks in Asia. India's fuel demand returns to pre-COVID levels. India's petrol sales rose for the first time in the first half of September since the country's lockdown in late March, signaling demand may have returned to pre-lockdown levels. Experts say demand may keep rising and reach a peak by end of October. Car and two-wheeler sales too picked up. The former rose by 14% in August, while the latter increased by 3%. Dr. Reddy's reclaimed spot as India's second most valuable pharma company. Dr. Reddy's Laboratories reclaimed the tag of being the second most valuable listed pharmaceutical company after its share price surged 14% on Friday, surpassing drug maker Divi's Laboratories. 14 Indian educational tech startups raised funds amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Money invested in India's education technology startups has increased nearly 4 times to $1.5 billion in the first 9 months of 2020. Investments feel that education tech startups not only have a big market in India with increasing home learning, but can also serve global markets as many companies start getting significant revenues from overseas. India seeks to connect 6 lakh villages with optical fiber by 2022. Broadband services to reach in all villages by 2022, said Minister of State Telecom, IT Sanjay Dhotre. The national mission aims to accelerate the growth of digital infrastructure, bridge the digital divide, and provide affordable and universal access of broadband to 1.3 billion Indians. The ambitious initiative includes laying of nearly 30 lakh kilometer route optical fiber and increased tower density from 0.42 to 1.0 tower per thousand of the population by 2024 and improve the quality of the mobile and internet services. Under the Mega BharatNet initiative, the Department of Telecommunication has connected more than 1.40 lakh village panchayats. India wants ADB to step up lending. Appreciating the assistance extended by the Asian Development Bank in fight against COVID-19, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman urged the multilateral lending agency to increase the quantum of lending and private sector operations with a view to ameliorate poverty and promote employment generation. India has the absorptive capacity to receive about $4 billion a year from sovereign operations and about $1.5 billion annually from the private sector financing window, Sitharaman said. Government likely to give partial clearance for stranded onion cargo at ports. Onion-filled trucks and containers stranded at different ports of the country in the wake of the centre's export ban of the vegetables might be given clearance as part of partial relaxation, Directorate General of Foreign Trade sources said on Friday. DGFT is understood to have communicated to the Customs Department to give the go-ahead to cargo that have arrived at the port, but not to ones which are in transit, they said. There are 500 to 600 trucks stuck at the land borders. The partial relaxation might help in the export of around 3,000 to 4,000 tons of onions to Bangladesh, another trader said.